Business owners need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships, real estate offices. Whatever your business, fantasy sports contests can help you increase your sales and bring you more loyal customers. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. Our software lets you customize contests fast and easy for your brand. That's right. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. That's 888-55-SPORT or visit Fanify.com.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that, we were just three women who have gone through various things and experiences in our lives, and we just took the opportunity to sit down, put it in a book, and then it'll be a movement, and then other women will be inspired to do the same thing. Let me tell you, we are better together. We are so much better together, family. I'm telling you. When we band together, put our resources and our experiences together, we can create a movement, and that's what it's about, inspiring people to do more than what they may currently see of their own lives, that they can do so much more. So yeah,
you are exactly right.
Be Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I know it says look at me, but I just see at me.
All right. Welcome to this week's Hump Day Discourse, Autumn Articulations. I have a very special guest with me to help me explore tonight. We are going to talk about the slur in our show tonight. Something wicked this way comes. So I hope you guys enjoy. So we will get started now. So, how are you? How was your week? What's going on?
Hi.
It is Hump Day. We are halfway through.
Yes, halfway.
How was your week this week? Anything good happen? Anything you see that was interesting?
Not really. Not really. It's been a pretty quiet day.
It's been pretty quiet?
Pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Nothing.
Got it. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties with my microphone tonight. Oh man.
No, it was pretty quiet so far.
It's such a rainy week. We didn't do a whole lot of anything this week just because it was so.
The weather
was semi-depressing.
Wasn't under anyone, but
I know. One of them weeks.
Yeah.
There's
still, 3 more days?
Right. I mean, it's still hump day. Like, even after the show, we still have another hour to hump on something. So, there's always that possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hump away from
Absolutely.
Hump day.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Now, I had a pretty calm, relatively uneventful week. Work, reading, writing, same shit, different toilet.
Yeah.
That's so gross. What? I'm just saying. That's what it was, cool.
Yeah.
Same shit, different toilet.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those snuggle weeks. You definitely
yeah.
Like the best side of you was, the underside of somebody else.
That's perfect. That's perfect. It didn't go that way, but it was definitely one of those.
It was those weeks. Last Wednesday, it came up in the conversation about mounting someone. And all I could think about since last hump day was mounting something for the last 7 days. And I'm looking forward to the possibilities of tonight. I'm gonna try to jump on something tonight.
Yeah.
And, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
definitely something.
Something did happen. I think I have a protege,
Ooh.
so to speak. I'm giving. I'm being nice.
You have to give.
You got to keep the tradition going.
Absolutely.
And I'm showing my little cousin how to be a slore.
How to be a slore.
I'm just kind of giving her tips slowly but surely. She's got a lot of, I don't know what to say. She has a very good idea of what, she should be doing.
Right.
But she thinks, how teenagers, or not teenagers, she's 21.
But young
they
people.
think they know everything. She's like, I know how to do everything. No, ma'am. Have you read a book? Why would I read a book? Because knowledge is power, honey.
Absolutely.
So I passed on to her. I have a set of 50 oral sex cards.
Yes, the deck.
The deck,
the fuchsia deck.
Yes, exactly.
You passed it on.
I passed it on. And
okay.
She was like, I don't know about these things. And I was like, girl, just look them. And then I gave her, I think I got a little book, How to Be a Sex Kitten or something like that, or Sexual Positions. And she was like, where are you getting these things from? I said, Barnes and Noble.
I mean, that's the best place to go. Look.
And that's what I told her. Like, go to the bookstore.
Go to the bookstore.
And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, girl. I was like, but don't tell your mom I gave you these things.
Right.
Take them upstairs right now.
And put them away.
Yeah.
But people have to be trained. So
yes.
One of the things I wanted to expose our listeners to tonight is what a slore is. I mean, in my opinion, it's the ultimate alter ego.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. It's definitely, because it's not just having sex.
No.
It's a thing, mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely.
And you can't be a slore with everyone, but it's almost women's empowerment, because you're taking control of your sexuality.
Absolutely.
That's at the crux of it.
Right.
Taking control of your sexuality. If I want to be with a woman, I'm going to be with a woman. If I want to be with a man, I'm going to be with a man. If I'm in a dick sucking mood, I'm
going to suck some dick.
Yeah. I'm not going to be intimidated by anyone. I'm not going to allow anyone to judge me or put myself in a position where I can be judged. Fuck you. I'm going to suck a dick tonight. I might suck
I'm going to like this.
Yeah. I'm preparing for this all day. I created a whole event behind sucking a dick.
Because you need to.
That's what sloring is about.
That's what sloring is about. It takes preparation. I even wrote a vignette.
Right. I remember.
About the slore.
Yeah.
About the hunt. And it was in a big portion of the vignette. I'll post it, guys, if you haven't read it or heard it before. But a big portion of the vignette was all about preparation for the hunt. Mm-hmm. It was the shower. It was the mental. It was the getting dressed. Mm-hmm. I think I spoke at one point about, her phone ringing and it being like a pistol at the Derby, releasing her out into the world, because she is a whole separate person. You know what I mean? Things have
completely. I don't think it's on a certain level you don't recognize yourself.
Right.
Because it's you shed that mom, wife, girlfriend, caretaker, business partner. You shed all of that and become this completely different person who does things that you wouldn't necessarily do.
Right.
Or even think about or consider as mom, wife, caretaker, friend, whatever other role that you're playing.
That you play.
I
mean, because most women play several roles. I mean, I know I wear, a half dozen to a dozen hats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mom, I'm manager, I'm daughter, I'm sister. All these roles take from you. But the slore is like a release from those. It's on Salacious Life, we celebrate living unapologetically. The slur is the epitome of that unapologetic life, you know, and it's not always about sex. It might be eat the fucking cupcake, drink the goddamn glass of wine,
indulging and enjoying every moment.
I feel like it's a time for me to celebrate the fact that I've been blessed with this life, not to just exist, but to live. And I mean live, you know, not just, you know, kind of pussyfooting around, walking on eggshells, because that's kind of how we're taught to be, especially in the corporate world. We're taught to wear a certain face at all times. But I don't like that.
You're wearing a face, you're absorbing, you're taking in things you don't necessarily want to take in. You have built this wall.
Absolutely.
To protect your spirit and your space, just so you can make it through to the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I feel like being a slur is a breaking down of that wall.
To let the wall go. And just, and you know what?
Putting a door in the wall and opening the door.
And opening the door and walking through it.
Walk right on through it.
You know, walk through it. Because so many times, in so many places, we don't take advantage of opportunities that are available to us because we're too scared, too rigid,
we create these boundaries.
We create these boundaries for what? Who decided that these boundaries were the right way to live? Like, tell me, who decided this was the way we have to live? You know, it's like the 90-day shit with I know, but I have to bring it up because that shit was so fucking ridiculous to me that I can't. The 90-day relationship shit where you hold out having sex for 90 days to make sure the relationship is right. Like,
I don't get
Steve Harvey, what the fuck made you think that was right? And who
how
are
many
you
wives?
to talk? How many wives have you had?
How many wives?
I'm just saying.
Seats, have them. No.
I'm just saying.
I feel like this. It's been my experience. If I wait anymore, if I meet a guy. Look, that 2 week mark, if we haven't had sex, we're not going to. Because I've had, as you know, we've known each other a long time. I've gone many years in relationships without ever sleeping with the partner. And then I've gone with just having a sexual partner and no relationship attached to it. You know, because it really is what's comfortable for you. Like most people I've found, even though they may not want to admit to it, most people I've found need to test drive. Before they're ready to commit, they need to know that they are sexually compatible with the next person. Because everybody's compatible. I've met people that I really, really like. I mean, like, I thought they were really, really cool. But the sex was fucking bogus, and I can't live like that. That is so, life is too short.
Absolutely it is.
To engage in bad sex or to be in a relationship where sex is what do you mean? You know, like, I had a girlfriend who married bad sex.
How do you marry bad sex?
You married it. Not only did she marry it on his request, she got rid of the toys. Listen.
Now, I was dumb enough to do that in my last marriage. I was dumb enough to get rid of the toys. I don't know what the hell was on my mind. Like,
I feel like there's a certain type of man who is intimidated by
a toy.
It's like, sir, it's an inanimate object. We can do this together.
What if I had came home with the whole man? You know, like they make the whole man now. Like, or a whole girl. Because, you know, me, I don't care. You know, like.
Like, that's a bit much. That's like, look, baby, look what I brought home.
I don't discriminate.
Let's call her Penelope.
Right. She just lays there.
Penelope the plastic pussy. Like,
absolutely.
What are you gonna do?
Absolutely.
I just life is too short. You gotta enjoy it. But then that opens up. But if you stay in a relationship or a situation where the sex is bad, you are opening yourself up to a world of trouble. Because at some point in time, you're gonna veer off. Because you're gonna start the hunt.
Right. And the hunt is important for both men and women.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the hunt. is something that I think everybody needs to indulge in. But you know what? We're going to hold that thought. We're going to talk about the hump when we come back because we need to take a break, pay them bills. We'll be right back with this week's Hump Day Discourse. Something wicked this way comes.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
By Demand Radio Show.
Years ago. If you broke that bike and it don't work, that's on you, brother. I suggest you get that toolkit out back and then start working with it, right? Yeah. So my son's looking at me like, wow. And I broke down to him how we had got fixing flat tires down to a science. You understand what I mean? Sticking the tube in the water. Right? Talk to me, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Critical thinking. And seeing we look at that now and like kids, they not as on hands like we were back in the day.
That's because nowadays you don't have to put the bikes together anymore. They can come assembled.
Yeah, everything's coming assembled.
In the store, they ask you like if you want it already assembled.
Right.
Back then you just got the box with 1 million pieces.
Right, and today I don't think they could work with that.
It's just like the thought process. Nowadays you get a bike that's already put together. Now when you were younger, you had to put this bike together.
You got to put it together.
That basically closes your mind into learning how to do something.
Yes.
Now you're giving it something. So okay, you take this. And this is what it is.
Right,
so now we have to run with this instead of teaching the child, this is how you put this together so you see the result as this.
Right. Critical thinking. I like that. Absolutely. So look, not to cut you off, Mr. Denise, but let's go to our first commercial break, and then we're going to come back and finish talking about critical thinking.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him.
You can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
Within our community, we got to look at ourselves and love and support each other. However, when we bring color into the perspective, we are no longer looking at each other as equals. We are dividing ourselves even more so than what society divides us. We're already divided with inequality, not unequality, but inequality within a system that is meant to keep us down. Here we are yet again doing things that are detrimental to our survival and sustaining of fruitful living. We're causing more mental health issues upon ourselves in our own society and our own communities by talking about the difference in complexion, even when it gets down to the point where we discriminate upon each other. I've often felt that I have been discriminated against even with my own people when it comes to me going into a business that is black owned and black operated, and I get up service and then I never want to return and into that establishment because the service was so up. I support those who support me. It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are. If you are a peaceful person, peaceful, loving person who believes in equality, I will love and support you with the same effort. However, being black and supporting black and acknowledging that I love the...
Make sure you check out McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back with this week's Hump Day Discourse. Something wicked this way comes in our Autumn Articulation series. We were talking about the hunt.
Right, the hunt.
The hunt. So, does the hunter or huntress?
Is that
right? Huntress? It'll be a word tonight.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say,
hunter or the huntress have special qualities that, you know, like that slur. Does that person have special qualities that make them stand out from the rest? Like, I know back when I used to hunt regularly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
what comes to mind? Pheromones.
Like the pheromones come to mind, but the hormones change. And I was oozing with alluring, you know, gravity. Like I was literally drawing people in. Like preparing for the hunt was so mental and emotional. It was had very little to do with anything physical. Even, you know, like even when you're on the phone, you know, like you know, we were talking earlier, you're on the phone. You like, hey, we'll throw out a name. Hey, Dan. Dan is going to be the prey for the sake of this conversation. Dan is going to be the prey. I see you watching Easy. I saw you early. I screamed out the window, but you kept walking. Anyway, Dan.
We're gonna get
is the prey. So we're going to get Dan. So Dan is in the lounge. Okay? We're just going to set this scene. Yeah. Okay, Dan is in the lounge. And we're preparing, right? And you walk in. It's not what you have on that makes the slur.
Do we know Dan?
We don't know Dan yet.
Okay, so Dan is just Dan.
Dan is just Dan.
Okay,
then we'll get to someone we know when we're hunting someone we know.
Okay,
we'll start with hunting the stranger.
We'll
start with hunting the stranger. Then we'll get to
unsuspecting prey. Dan's gonna get it.
Unsuspecting prey. Dan is the bunny and I am the lynx. Okay, right. So
I don't think that's what lynx do, but anyway.
Dan, I'm sorry for you. And you know, no offense to any Dans that might be listening. I'm sure I know a few Dans out there. But so Dan is at the lounge, right? And we've prepared. You know, we've showered. We've played the right music. We've played the Deep Throat Saturday playlist to get your DTS, get your mind in the right place, right? So, all right. We are feeling sexy. We're feeling strong. We're feeling beautiful. We're feeling smart, you know, untouchable, right? But not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? Not snooty, not stuck up, because that's not
confident.
Really the slur. Just confident.
It's a certain level of confidence. I think confidence is key. It's a certain level of confidence that you kind of walk with, almost like when you go on a job interview. I'm going to get this job. And you get the job. So I'm going to get this Dan.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to get you Dan. But it's that confidence because you set the stage. You've showered. You got your perfume. You've been listening to the playlist. You know, you took your time getting dressed. So like,
I mean, you loved on yourself.
Yes, you elated all of your senses.
Yeah.
You got everything just kind of like.
You've indulged in, I mean, and people need to indulge in their senses. And the hunt is just that. But you have to indulge the entire time. So we're talking about things that feel good. The materials that you put on have to feel good against
Soft
your skin.
against your skin.
You know,
Silky against your
silky
skin.
and smooth. You know, for your guys, you know, those really breathable shirts that just make you feel
Brushed
like you that
cotton.
nigga. Yeah,
Yes,
brushed
that
cotton.
nice soft brushed cotton,
Absolutely.
like down to the undershirt. Like
Right.
that. Go ahead and spend a couple extra bucks for that Lacoste undershirt, or you know that
Right.
Calvin Klein,
That Calvin
or whatever,
Klein undershirt.
You know, and
because there's nothing better than the Calvin Klein undershirt. I'm sorry.
Listen, you know, make sure it's that brushed cotton that feels really good against your skin. You know, you've taken your shower, the water hitting your body is just, you know, it's washed away all of the day.
Right.
So all of those other hats that you've been wearing,
They're
all
gone.
that is just
They go
gone.
down the drain.
It goes down the drain. It's
Goes
gone.
down the drain.
Completely gone. You put on your smell good, so that's the sense of smell. You know, that type of cologne, like for me with a man and cologne, like I will follow a man.
Oh, absolutely. I'll
And
follow
just-
a man. I'll
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
a woman.
woman too,
If
'cause-
you smell good.
Like, hi, how are you? Put my boobies up.
Right.
How are you today? So nice.
You smell real good.
What
You
you
know.
doing later?
Right. I mean, because you walk up to Dan, right?
Right. Does Dan smell good?
Dan smells good.
How do we know that? How do we pick Dan?
You feel your way through. You're a slur.
True.
This
true.
isn't something that is particularly thought out as
No,
much
it's
as it's
not
felt.
thought-
You
yeah,
feel your way
yeah.
through the process.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true.
Hold
So-
that thought. We're going to get back to Dan. We got to take another quick break. We'll be right back. all the way through.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right? Radio Loyalty. Click that banner to join now.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that, you know, we were just three women who have gone through various things and experiences in our lives, and we just took the opportunity to sit down, put it in a book, and then it'll be a movement, and then other women will be inspired to do the same thing. Let me tell you, we are better together. We are so much better together, family. I'm telling you. When we band together, put our resources and our experiences together, we can create a movement, and that's what it's about, inspiring people to do more than what they may currently see of their own lives, that they can do so much more. So yeah.
You are exactly right.
The Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9
I'm LeVar
p.m.
Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy, busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Alright, so this week's Hump Day Discourse, in case you've missed the beginning, we are talking about the slore. And we were talking about
the hunt.
And
we're hunting Dan.
So we're going to take you through a hunt. So we've just walked in. Now, backplay just a little bit. We're all dressed. We're smelling good. We're feeling good. We've washed away the day, and we are securely in our alter ego.
Yes.
The slore.
The slore.
Okay, so we've arrived at the location, and we see Dan. And Dan is looking good, and he's smelling good, and, you know, he's got a nice figure, and he seems to have a little swag. Something about him is drawing us to him. So we're going after Dan, right? All right.
Like, hey, Dan, is this seat taken?
Is this? Can I sit right here? Can I sit next to you? Can I sit next to you?
I can sit next to you.
Like, the one thing about the slore is that you have to be bold. You have to be confident in who you are. Because if you can't walk up to somebody and say, is this seat taken? I've walked up and sat at somebody's dinner table. Like, I mean, they're out having dinner.
Yeah.
You know, they're at somewhere, I don't know, Sagamore, wherever. They're at Sagamore. They're sitting there having, you know, their $400 dinner alone. And I say, hey, can I sit there?
Who's going to turn down a slore?
Nobody turns down the slore.
No. He may be taken aback for a second, like
they got to get themselves together.
Yeah.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah. no. Just, I know what to do with your hands. Just, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do with your hands, but we're not quite there yet. So let's rewind. No. We're talking up Dan. Now, the thing about it is that you have to have a minimal conversation. I think sometimes too many words will deflect from going on instinct, because the one thing that's about the slore is that he or she is very primal. She works on instinct, not on premeditation. Does
that makes a whole lot of sense. That's how, because it's I don't know, go ahead. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say, but
yeah, like I really think it's very
primordial,
instinctual. It's primal. It's raw. It's wicked.
Very, very wicked.
It's wicked.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to live in that moment. You can't think about, do I want this guy's phone number so that I can go out with him later?
No,
and that is really not the goal of the hunt. Dan will not get my phone number unless...
Dan might not even get my real name.
Because this is the alter ego.
Yeah.
So you may not know Ren. You know, you might know, I don't know.
Jasmine.
Okay. No offense, Jasmine, if you're listening. You're the slore tonight. No. You know I love you. No, but you're right. Like, Dan may not even get a real name, because the goal of the slore and the hunt is to live in that moment and really not really give a fuck about what happens afterwards.
No, it doesn't matter. It's,
right.
What happens after isn't even
it's of no consequence.
None.
We're going to get up the next day. We're going to take our happy asses back to work. We're going to put all them goddamn hats back on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're going to take our kids to school. We're going to, you know, manage our whatever. Like, this is what we're going to do. But for the moment, the only thing that matters is the self-indulging.
Yes.
And we're going to indulge in Dan. Now,
Dan's going to get it.
Dan's going to get it. Dan doesn't know he's going to get it, but Dan's going to get that shit.
Dan's going to love it, too.
And Dan's going to love it. Because there is no going back.
No.
And the problem with the slur, and you have to be choosy about when you let he or she out. Because the problem with the slur is that people attach to it. Because the slur has no inhibitions. None.
The epitome of wicked.
The epitome of wicked.
Something wicked this way comes.
With a U. Comes with a U.
With a U.
You know, like absolutely. So we're in there, we're talking to Dan, we're sitting next to Dan now. We've gotten a cocktail because we're indulging.
Yes.
Right? I'm not saying get sloshy drunk because typically speaking, you can't be instinctual if you have a mind-altering substance that will suppress your instincts.
I think it should be like a one drink. If a drink is involved, it's a one drink minimum. Max, I'm sorry, it's a one drink max, and then you're on water. Because, you know, the more water you take, the wetter you get.
Right.
You have to stay hydrated. Liquor dehydrates you.
Right.
So you need water.
Right. And you need a lot of hydration because hopefully, ultimately,
we're gonna spend
something wicked is going to make you
come.
Coming.
And we're coming.
That's liquid.
Yeah.
So we're talking all kinds of bodily influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so we got your fluids coming out of everywhere. You might cry. You might laugh hysterically. Hopefully you come uncontrollably. Yeah. Hopefully you're sweaty.
Squirting.
Like,
it's just all over the place. Situation. We're sticky because we sweaty. You're just oozing love liquid.
Absolutely.
Love liquid.
His man nectar. Yes. Your love liquid.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
It's all over the place.
You know, and you know, I don't discriminate. So it could be a lot of man nectar or a lot more love liquid. And there's been times where I've hunted several. You know, I've walked in rooms and taken several people out with me because my appetite was just that big. Because my appetite was wet with an H.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It was wet with an H. Yes. You know. So the slur is a lot of responsibility. You know?
It's not for the faint of heart at all.
No.
You cannot be meek or mild. You can't have, I'm not doing that. You can't have a whole bunch of restrictions.
No.
Being a slur. That just doesn't work. You can't be that chick that's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I don't understand, well, one, I don't understand women who do that. But if you are one of those women who are like, you know, I don't deep throat, I don't anal, I don't play with toys, and I don't suck ass, I don't milk him, like, whatever.
What was it, a dirty trombone?
The dirty trombone. You don't dirty trombone. Why not?
Try everything
at least once before you say, at least twice, I think. Because the first time you might have the wrong partner. Second time, you may actually indeed not like it.
You can't try everything with everybody.
No. And you have to find, so we're feeling Dan out. We're figuring out if Dan is a prude. That's always the hard part, because if Dan is a prude, we have to gracefully exit the situation and move on to the next prey.
It's been great, Dan.
It's been great, Dan. It was nice meeting you. You know, I'll see you around town.
Yeah.
You know, if he says, can I get your number? You just say no.
Yeah, say no.
Say no. And just be like, no, this was great, but no, this was it. Yeah. This was our encounter. Yeah. This is the extent of our encounter. But let's say Dan isn't a prude. Let's say Dan is curious. Let's say Dan is curious.
Right.
As to what we getting ready to bring.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So Dan is sitting there. Dan is checking out all the weaponry. You know, we are fully prepared.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Speaking of, inquiring minds want to know, because I have not introduced you. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Nia.
This is Nia.
Hi. That's all you get.
And that's all Dan would get.
Yeah.
You would get something like, hi.
Hey guys, I'm Nia.
So she's Nia tonight. I'm Jasmine tonight. We are playing the role of the slur.
The slurs.
Sounds like, Jay said, sounds like Dan has to go. Look, but Dan, so we're just giving you both sides of things, okay? Dan wasn't the prude yet, but I'm just saying, if he was, you gracefully exit. If he is a prude, right?
It's going down.
It's going.
Somebody's going down.
Somebody's going down.
Somebody's.
Hopefully, everybody's going down.
We're all going down.
We're all going down.
On a
you know,
sinking ship.
fuck that. We're getting a car, state trooper for the next 50 miles. Let's just
ride around the Beltway.
Let's ride around the Beltway.
695.
Like
695.
So when you're the slur, bring the what's the word I'm looking for? Bring the cash. Bring about $20 worth of ones, because if we're riding the Beltway, we have tolls. You don't want to ask your prey to pay your toll.
No.
Your prey will probably pick up your drink tab.
Yeah.
If you play the slur properly.
If you do it properly.
If you do it properly,
He's
your
not even
drink
gonna think
tab,
twice.
man or female, because I bought many a man and many a woman a drink in my time, your drink tab will probably be covered. So, bring you $20 worth of ones, because it's $4 every time you ride that Beltway one time. So we're going to ride around the Beltway.
Right.
Right? And we could get a good 3-4 rides in before we run out of ones.
Right.
That's a lot of state trooper. For those who do not know what state trooper is, just like you probably don't know what a rusty trombone is, let me enlighten you real quick. Sidebar. A state trooper is giving a driver head as that person drives.
We've all done it. It's basic.
Very basic. Try not to do it with somebody who drives a stick.
The stick
because
gets
the gear
in the
shift
way.
gets in the way.
Boy, does it get in the way.
Boy, does it get in the damn way.
Yeah,
it's in the way.
Sucks.
So no more. So you might have to ask Dan right there at the bar, what kind of car do you drive? Not because you're impressed by brands, and then he goes, I'm driving a Mercedes, or I have a nice Honda. And you go, no. Do you drive an automatic, or do you drive a stick? No. Because I need you to drive an automatic, because I'm going to be driving the stick.
Ha! Dan's going to be like,
I'm just saying.
Dan's going to think for a second.
What did she just say? Right.
Are you ready, Dan? Let's go.
He said, I got a rental. I got some ones and enough time. Yes. Wait, where's the bell? There's Jay. Auto life. Hashtag. Absolutely. You know, so back on course. Right. So we've asked Dan what kind of car he drives. For the sake of conversation, Dan drives, you know, your compact SUV with a regular gear shift, right? Plenty of space. You know what's about to go down. So you say, you know what I would love to do on a beautiful night like tonight?
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride, because you are preparing. He doesn't understand this, but you are preparing for his ultimate ride ever. Fuck the Superman. I'm so much better. So here we go. We're making our grand exit, right? You're holding Dan's hand. You're leading him to his own vehicle. Now, he's going to guide you slightly, but you have to lead, because you are the slur. You have to keep control, dominance in this situation, because the slur is definitely a dominant role. This is not a passive role. You will not be getting tied up and whipped that night. That's a different person. I'll teach you about that another night. Tonight, we are talking about the dominant, the slur. So you're leading him out. You're holding his hand. You got your middle finger tickling the inside of his palm, so that he starts to get the idea that it's getting ready to go down. Now, come prepared. Have condoms, have Listerine, have an Altoid,
wipes,
Wipes are necessary.
Very necessary.
Very necessary. If you don't like Altoids, try a Halls, but one or the other, because there is no giving head without one. All right. Sometimes you want to just get a little bit in your mouth, because if you're going to deep throat, you don't want something and you don't want to choke, right? So you just get the taste in your mouth, you move it all around, you get it all around, so that that initial attack of whatever you're attacking, whether it be the dick or the pussy or the ass or the knee or whatever the fuck you're attacking, his lips, his eyes, her lips, her eyes, whatever you're attacking, make sure that you are prepared for that. I always suggest keeping Listerine, Altoids, Halls.
I have all that in my purse right now.
Because you have to be prepared. I actually have all that in my bag as well. So,
but you know,
because you have to be.
You never know, because sometimes the slur just kind of appears like, "Hey, bitch."
So before we go on, so we're in the car. Pause. Sidebar. When is it appropriate to release the slur? Because, like you said, sometimes.
Yeah.
She just shows up.
Sometimes she just shows up, and you gotta fight her, because like, chill, shorty. Like, it's not really that time. But then there are times where like life has been super duper stressful,
right?
And she will just kind of automatically come out, and you're like, no, not right now. But like, I think that is a good time to let her out,
right?
Because it's like stress manifests itself
in different ways
in your body.
Right.
So, you know, that is a way of relieving stress. So I think if you are in a stressful situation, life has just been giving you the blues, then she shows up. Let her out. Let her out. Let her do what she does.
Let her play.
Let her play.
Let her hunt.
And then, trust me, when she's satisfied, you can go on back, and you will feel 100% better. Oh my God.
Right. I mean, it's the ultimate stress relief. And the slur can easily be what I would call a defense mechanism.
Yes.
You know, because like you said, stress can manifest itself in many ways.
Right.
It can make you sick.
Yes.
It can make you tired. It can make you depressed. It can make your hair fall out.
Yes.
But guess what? Slur. Just one time.
Yeah. You'll be good.
You'll be good.
You'll be good.
And and don't think you can't slur with your partner. Because you can. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Because right now, we're talking about Dan. And before we do that, we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with this week's Salacious Life. Something wicked this way comes. That's cool. It is very cool. The cool effect.
Like, I really did. Is it in this one?
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it, eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
I take that back.
What if
on. What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you
like,
let?
Like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money. It's unrealistic.
I'm sorry.
It's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We are bad. Life is wild. So where were we? We had put Dan on hold because we were talking about when is it appropriate to be the slur,
to let her out, yeah. And that's stressful situations. Let's see. I think when you're in a situation, like if you're in a relationship and it's just kind of, it's in a lull.
It's time to bring out the slur.
It's time to bring her out.
Because relationships can get stale, especially when you've been dealing with the same person for a long time. Life can get stressful. People get distracted from feeding the relationship. I think it's a perfect time to let out the slur. We talked about date night like a year or so ago, and it was like a big deal because I thought to myself, absolutely, date night is a perfect time to let out the slur, to play the alter ego, to be your other self, the part of you that you've been suppressing for however many, whenever. Like, this is important. The other time that's good to let out the slur would be in lifestyle parties or lifestyle gatherings.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah, like
old.
I know, girl. We have definitely grown. Road to 40.
Old. It's 9 o'clock. What's all these people doing out here with no clothes on? What's wrong with these people?
Whatever, I love it. You like it, I love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more beautiful to me than a naked body. I don't care what kind it is.
Yeah.
I love a naked body. Because I like curves. I mean, I'm an artist. I can't help it. I don't think I look at the human figure as a whole as much as I used to. I look at the wave of something or the shape of something or how something curves or how the light may hit that person's face. Like, so let's get back to Dan. We're in the car. The moon is shining on Dan from the left. You're in the passenger seat on the right. So you're getting the shadow of Dan's face.
And all his lines.
All his lines.
That muscle as he's like holding on to the
He's
steering
holding
wheel.
on to the steering wheel. And there's steering wheel. Right. So there's nothing better than this.
All that.
Absolutely. Because you need to see that person as a figure, not as much as a person. And I know that sounds absolutely horrible, but don't worry. The person will not mind.
They ain't gonna mind.
They're not gonna mind. So, all right, we're looking at Dan, right?
Dan.
Ladies, if you haven't figured it out yet, learn how to be ambidextrous because that left hand will save your life. So, you need to be able to use both hands right now. Absolutely. So we have to get Dan on the same page as the slur, right? So, Dan may be driving, trying to chit-chat because Dan may be thinking, I've just met this great person and I'm going to have this great relationship with her. No, Dan, you are going to have great relations with her. You are not going to have a relationship with her. So we're going to tell Dan very subtly that this is not a relationship and this is how you do that. You take your left hand and you start on his right arm and you take it down to his right leg. And then you cup that right thigh. And then you come up that right thigh into that crease. And then you make your way to a belt buckle, to a zipper, to whatever. You need to start letting things loose. Dan is going to freak out. Try to do this before you get on the highway. Because if Dan has never had a state trooper before, Dan might push the gas a little too hard, and he needs to be on an open space when he does it.
Yeah.
The best time to do this is when Dan is at a red light, because then he'll just smash even harder on the brake. You're not going to go anywhere. Right. So you're good. Make him jerk. And then you smile. You lick your lips. You reapply your cherry red lipstick. If you're a woman, you reapply your chapstick. If you're a man, mind you, this hand is going to town, because you have to bring this person to the brink.
Right there, and then stop. Right there, stop.
There is levels to this shit. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, levels
to this. It's levels.
That's what the keys. Levels. Do they still say that?
I think they do. Okay. I don't know.
I'm
old.
Yeah.
They said it in my day.
Levels.
In my day,
levels,
they said there was levels to this shit.
My little cousin be like, it be your own, whoever, whatever. So, I don't know.
It be your own, whoever, whatever?
Yeah, so like.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Because like if somebody does something to her, she'll be like, see, it be your own mother trying to. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, so then she was like, say it be your own big cousin. Just suck his dick, girl. Leave me alone.
Right. And please suck a dick properly, ladies. Please stop giving us a bad rap. There is nothing worse than bad head. Ladies, you hate getting it. Men hate getting it. Why don't we all join together? You know,
read a book.
Read a book.
It's in a book.
It's in a book.
It's a whole book specifically about that. I'm not going to name it because, you know, y'all gotta Google it. But
there are
it's a book. It's a lot of books.
There are cards.
Yes.
Oral sex guides.
Yeah.
Learn it.
It's super easy.
It's important. If you aren't willing to learn it, you can come to one of my shows. I talk about giving head the proper way all the time. I can teach you either way, girl or man. I'm good at it. So,
that's a travesty.
And it really is. There's nothing worse than a person, and a lot of it has to do with your inhibitions. Now, by this time, you've probably only had one drink, because I told you don't get drunk.
Right.
But it's enough of a drink that you are, what's the word I'm looking for? You're loose. You've relaxed enough.
Yeah, relax. More or less relax rather than loose. Just, I think 2 to 3 drinks. And
2 to 3 drinks. Okay. You know, usually
Just
me 2, 3, I start to get sleepy-ish.
Yeah.
I don't want to get that way because I need energy. I don't want to get mellow. I need to have my wits about me. But I also need any inhibition I might have, which I don't have many.
Right.
But any that I might have, I need to go ahead and put in my pocket.
Yeah.
So the drink will help me there. It will put it in the pocket. Excuse me. I just burped. So, yeah, I mean, my mouth starts salivating when I'm thinking about giving head. I'm like trying to swallow, get my life together. Like shit is watering. Anyway. All right, so you have to proceed slowly. You have to turn your body. You can do this with your seatbelt on. Take your chest guard, put it behind your back, turn your body, cross your right leg over your left leg if you're a lady. If you're a man, take your right leg, put it close to the passenger door. Then you lean in. At this point, whatever you're getting ready to lick should be either in your hand or fully exposed. If it's not, back up, repeat lessons 1 through 5.
Pay attention, you guys.
Pay attention. All right, hold that thought. We're getting ready to go in. We'll be right back with Salacious Life.
Even as a comedian, if I say a joke and it just might not fit your cup of tea, but it's mine, that's a that's what a comedian is supposed to do.
But people forget
everybody's not going to find your jokes funny. they better find mine funny.
But they forget that though. They really forget that. They forget that but it's your view. That's why they didn't fire her.
Yeah.
Because that her viewpoint is
It's her
controversial.
view.
It's
That's the view she sees.
Right.
Everybody is clear to her.
Like they did the reaction to
cellophane.
They did the reaction to the Chris Rock Oscar, and they were talking about Stacey Dash, and I don't think she agrees with Stacey Dash, but she pointed her out as somebody who has an opinion that's just different from everybody else's.
Her opinion is just stupid, though. Stacey Dash she's like a Dash. Let's just move on.
I think she's intelligent, but her
You're still going.
opinion.
We're gonna move on. Stacey Dash doesn't need to be talked about. She's irrelevant.
You said her name like 3 times already.
She's irrelevant.
I said it once.
Dash. That. So, I couldn't have meant that more. She is so irrelevant. I'm not even going to say her name. But we're here every Tuesday, and we talk about people just like that at 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Back with this Hump Discourse. We are talking about the floor. We are describing the hunt. So we've gotten all the way from going in the place, putting your eye on a prey, getting the prey into a vehicle.
Right.
You cannot drive if you're the slur, because you need to be free to maneuver.
Yeah, so
what do you have to do? All right, we're in the car.
We're in the car.
We've maneuvered things out of its packaging.
So you should have in your purse, ladies, this is specifically for the ladies.
So this is for the ladies.
Who have hair that's long. You want to go ahead and pin that up.
Like she's doing. And because you have to protect, you have to prepare. Your hair can't get in the way.
No, it can't. It can't.
And as y'all know, like 2 months ago, my hair came down to my elbow. Getting them locks about the way, I always had to keep a hair tie, a few big bobby pins. Like, got to get the hair out the way. Guys, if you have locks, have a hair tie. Pull that shit back.
Pull it back.
Pull it back.
They know
Use
something's
your
about
lock
to go down.
stop it up. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Hair cannot get in the way because it's getting ready to go down.
It's going down. Hair gets in the way, and it's that whole. Then it's just a lot of work. It's
right.
disgusting.
Now,
and it's not sexy.
Right.
So you got your hair up, and we got everything out, and we're going in for the kill.
All right.
We're going to go in for the kill. So what are we going to do?
Right.
You know, you might want to look at it.
You have to definitely look at it.
Check
you got
it out.
to figure out what you're looking at.
Yeah, like check it, you know.
See where the curves are.
Little curves. Give it a little lick or two. This is where the reading comes in, or like, no, because you got to know what you're going to do. Like, you can take your tongue and just kind of run it under the rim. The rim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go
the rim
down.
Of the head, go down.
Down. There's always, usually, a vein.
There's usually a vein.
There's usually a vein.
There's usually a vein.
There's usually a vein. That's always fun to go down. You
If
know,
you're-
just the tip of your
if you're
tongue,
licking-
the whole tongue.
Yeah. If you're
Just
looking at a
kinda go with
woman,
it.
you know, it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
I would suggest if you're state troopering a woman, take your index finger, your middle finger, at right above her clitoris and lift up, because that will lift the clit and the hood of the clit off the clit to expose the most.
That's like getting cake. Cake batter out the.
Yeah, you gotta lift it up, get it out the way, because you have to be able to get to the gooey middle. All right. So, and then later you're going to be using those fingers while you're giving her head, if you're giving her head, because
Put the
you
fingers
want
in
to
the mouth.
massage around the rim of the vagina, not penetration, just around the rim.
Wash on,
Wash off.
Wax on, wax off.
Right. So, go back and review Karate Kid, first episode. The real Karate Kid, not the Kung Fu Kid that they called the Karate Kid.
Yeah, the weird one. You want Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need the old one. You know, I am the man who will fight. Right. You need that Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Because you are going to wax on, wax off
on,
if you're
wax
dealing with a
off.
woman. And you
Yeah.
have to get it right. Because she has to keep that foot on the gas. So
Yes.
you can't mess with that right leg.
No.
You have to
avoid,
maneuver the
kinda
left
be
leg
over.
out the way. That's the
You
other
might
reason why
want to
you-
have her kind of put her seat back just a little.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. To give
She
you
needs
a little
to
bit.
lean
Just
a little bit because
little.
she has to position her pelvis up slightly.
I mean, she might be able to take her left leg, and kind of like put it up.
Oh, like put it up on the
yeah,
seat.
that's what
You
I
know,
like.
kinda
Like,
do one of-
yeah,
one of
I can't go up that because I'm in a dress.
But but I get what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
One
so
of
that
these
kind of
moments.
that makes things a little bit easier.
It makes it a little easier. And you can usually tell if a woman can or can't do that, depending on like when you're going through the initial encounter. Pay attention to all things. How this person walks, how this person picks up their glass, how this person talks, how they move within their space. Because you can figure out if somebody is super awkward very, very quickly. And you may need to move on from Dan.
Yeah.
You may need to move on. So we got Dan. Dan's in our hand.
Dan is
We've
in
licked the
hand.
rim.
We licked it. We're kind of,
We're kind of playing with it. We ain't going in yet.
No.
We're just kind of playing with it because Dan is still comprehending the fact that he
He's
just
like, what
met
the hell
you.
is going on?
He
Is
just met
this
you 30
bitch
minutes ago.
Got her dick in my hand. She keep putting her tongue on it. What is going on
What
around
is
here?
going on here?
I'm trying to ride. She ain't tell me where we going. Just ride, Daddy. Just ride. Just ride. Just drive. That's all.
I just wanted to ride.
You know, because at some point we've already pulled the ones out and set them somewhere.
Right.
So it's just like, you know, and he was probably like, why is she putting ones? Is she paying
so
me?
this when
No.
you get the sticky note. You put your pile of ones somewhere in the center where they're
In the
not going to get knocked
console.
over, but somewhere where the driver can easily see them. You get your sticky note because your sticky note is going to say 4 tolls. That way nothing
Tolls.
needs to be said.
It's just like,
For tolls,
oh.
not for polls, for tolls.
Pay the toll.
Right. So
what happens when we get to the toll? We're still going.
We're the
At the
slore.
True.
Part
true.
of being a slore is slightly being the exhibitionist.
Very
no.
true. Somebody's getting a show. That person is getting a show.
Somebody's getting a show. 9 times
Okay.
out of 10, somebody's going to drive up next to you. They'll get a piece of the show.
That's always fun.
That's
when
always
they're like,
fun.
Is she?
Yes, she is. Because when I get the state trooper, like, shit, I might turn my whole body around. My whole ass might be at the window. Because, you know.
Like, how are they driving? How are they driving? What is going on?
Mind you, mention to the person, if you see police, you may want to tap me on my head. Don't hit me on my head. Tap me so that I can at least lower my lower half.
Yeah, just kind of let me
Sink down
some more.
into
Like, boop.
right. Boop. Not back. Like, bitch, stop. It's the police. They gonna pull me over. No, because you're gonna mess up the whole shit. Right?
That's funny.
I'm just saying.
True. You have to be prepared for all different scenarios.
Absolutely. And think these things
Yeah.
out a little bit, because when the slur comes, you're not usually, like I said, the slur is not premeditated. So think about these things now so that you're prepared for when she arrives.
Have them in your mental Rolodex.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with planning. Those nights you can't sleep, you tossing and turning.
Plan
something out. Plan a slur adventure.
Right. Where you're gonna go.
Where are we gonna go? Where would I?
Do you want a woman? Do you want a man? Do you want
What is
multiple
something
partners?
I've never done before that I would like to do? How do I go about making that happen? How do I get from point A to point
wherever? Right.
Z, D, C, come. Like
come.
Yeah.
Where do I get from point A to come?
To come. Just
with a U.
So that's what you gotta figure out. Those are the times you figure that out. So when she comes out, she's ready.
She's ready.
She's ready.
You have to get her in there. Get her dressed, get her everything, and then just put her in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need her at some point.
Yeah.
Or he. You may need him at some point. So figure out what you're going to wear. Figure out how you're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Manscape your man parts.
Oh, that's important.
People don't like the floss.
No,
unless they're in their bathrooms with Glide.
That's the worst.
There's nothing worse then
pubes in your
pubes
mouth.
in your mouth.
It's
so
so gross. Hair is disgusting.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to give such good pleasure to this person that they're going to feel obligated
to keep it nice and neat down there.
To keep it nice and neat and keep you pleasured as well. The tables will turn on the floor, but you will still be in control. All right, so we're in there. We're playing with this guy's dick, right?
Yeah.
We're licking all around the head, you know, everything. So then you start to suck the head, right?
Of course, yeah. So by that time, we're like on the beltway, good. We're on 6095, good.
We're circling the beltway.
We're circling the beltway. So you're just kind of going in, you know,
Mhm.
right hand, left hand, you know, it's in your jaw. You gag a little bit.
Gagging is good.
Gagging is amazing.
Gagging is good. And if
Yeah.
you don't know how to deep throat, it's really easy.
Yeah.
Just inhale, exhale, swallow, and it'll go all the way down. Don't worry. You could fit a damn tuba in there if you wanted to. Or a rusty trombone. No.
Rusty trombone.
Rusty trombone.
You won't need a tetanus shot for that one, though.
Mm-mm. So, hopefully not.
Oh, Jesus. You gotta watch who we picking up.
We do have to watch who we're picking up. I know a lot of people, I do it. Use a body dam, use a condom. You can give head with a body dam and a condom, just as good. I'm not saying go out there and not be safe.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Practice safe sex, you guys.
Absolutely.
Heard they can't get rid of this chlamydia or gonorrhea that's floating around the city.
Oh my God.
This is like a super bug.
Be extra careful, people.
Yeah.
I didn't know this until just now. So, when you're bringing out the floor, like we said, be prepared. Have your own protection. If you're a woman, don't expect the man that you pick up to have a condom. One, he did not know he was going to be picked up.
No, he did not. You should always have a condom.
And bring multiple sizes. Because you don't know who you're working with. And all dick can be good dick. Even a little dick if you work it right.
You'd be like, surprise!
Right.
This is a nice size. This is perfect.
This, you know, it's fun size. I can, you know,
I can fun size Snickers. I did.
I love a fun size Snickers.
Yeah.
You know?
All little chocolate, little veins.
Need a break? Have a Snicker.
Have a Snickers.
You know? Absolutely. You know, so, all right. So then you have to go in a little bit. You've been riding.
Yeah.
You've been teasing him. He's like going to lose it, right? So this is when you go in. Don't make him come.
No, don't do that because then it's over. So maybe this would be a good time to just kind of like stop and
Yeah.
play with yourself.
Yes.
That's
a good
idea. You want
idea.
to stop.
Like, and
then
don't just stop abruptly. Don't be like,
Yeah, like
and
you
then be
want
like,
to, as you're doing it, you're kind of like easing to yourself.
right,
And so you know how like, you got two things going on. We've all done it.
right. Ambidextrous.
There you go. That's why you need to be ambidextrous.
There you go.
There you go. No index for this. But
right.
There you go.
You may need it later.
Yeah.
So
got to wipe his seat down. And he hurt his elbow. Just spray with some Windex.
But
no, really, but like that's
For real.
when you want to start, like, because then like he's really turned on, but he's not going to like bust because you're not really touching him
right
anymore.
He's probably
you got it in
touching
his hand.
himself.
He's touching himself. He probably grabbed your boob.
Right.
It's
he's probably
going
grabbing
there.
your leg, trying to get
Yeah.
his way to
Yeah.
touching on
Yeah.
you.
Because he's still driving.
So he's like,
He's
hold
like,
up.
just wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What's going on over here?
Do I need to pull over? No.
No, not yet.
Keep going, Daddy.
Keep going.
Dan.
Because
Daddy Dan.
Daddy Dan.
Daddy Dan.
Big Dick Dan. Anyway. So Dan is now, you know, all turned on.
Yes.
You're turning yourself on now.
Yeah.
And you're turned on because he's turned on. Be turned on at your own ability.
Yes. If you can't be turned on by the things that you do, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
You need to hang up your card or call one of us. We'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
We'll help you.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for, to help you.
Yep. Y'all know how to reach me. You can reach me via email, drren@asalaciouslife.com. You can hit me on the inbox. Y'all can reach me.
Yeah.
there are tools to this.
Plenty.
There's
Because it's
plenty
all
of
about
tools.
self-love. You're confident about yourself and you've already loved yourself. You can do whatever you want to do and not need anybody else for validation.
Right, because the whole point of this
Yeah.
isn't what you're doing
No.
as much as it's what it represents to you.
You, right.
You know, yes,
Yeah.
you're going to do what you do very well.
Yeah.
However, the hunt is representing you exploring
Yes.
your own journey, you taking charge of your own path, you stirring
Yes.
your own ship.
Yeah.
Even if it's only temporary, because in your real life, one of your hats may be a student. One of your hats may be a daughter. One of
You're
your hats may be
taking-
a son. You might have to work under a micromanager. You know,
Yeah.
like, so you don't always have control over your life.
This is the moment where you have control.
This is the moment when you
It's
have
all about control. You
Mhm.
controlling your life, what you want, getting what you want to get, and not just getting it, but
taking it
and enjoying the taking, indulging in the taking.
Absolutely.
To indulge in that, this is mine, it belongs to me.
Even if it's just for the moment.
For the moment. And the moment, just the moment is good.
The
It's
moment
okay.
is
Sometimes
good.
that's all you need. Because being a slore, it's a certain level of intensity that you can't, that she can't hang around for too long.
Right. We're going to take a break. We're going to continue right after this, these fun messages. What did it say? We'll be right back. No, we'll be right back with Salacious Life with Dr. Wren and my homegirl Nia here.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So, we're back with Something Wicked This Way Comes in this episode of the Autumn Articulation series. We were talking about... Wait.
What were we talking about?
I'm
Gosh.
sorry, I got into it.
So much.
So, we were playing with ourselves. We were talking about taking control.
It's about taking control and how long you should allow the slur to be out, because she's intense.
She's very intense, and she's very, like, consuming.
Yes.
The slur can easily take over and become your dominant personality. You have to be careful with that, because that's not good, because you go from controlling the slur to just being a straight-up slut.
Yeah. And we don't want, nobody likes a slut.
Nobody likes a slut.
I don't care what's her
There's
face
a
it
classy
says.
way to handle this,
Yeah.
even if you're being nasty as fuck.
Yeah.
Right. There's a classy way of doing
slut.
this.
Nobody likes a slut.
Nobody likes a slut. And nobody
Yeah,
would
it's
deal
just-
with one for long.
No, no.
And you'll get a reputation for being one. Because
Too old
everybody
to
talks.
have reputations.
We all have some reputations,
Yeah.
but let's not make it any
Let's
worse.
not add another one.
Let's like add another one.
Like,
Like,
she said, what? She was with who?
and I was like, I ain't know that nigga. I was horny. No. Fuck you mean?
People.
Oh, that was your man? I ain't know. He shouldn't have
He
told me to
should have
come on.
said something.
He should have said something. That's the other thing. When you're meeting this person, try to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Relatively respectful of a relationship they may be in.
Yeah.
So get it out there a little bit, not a lot, just enough to make sure that you're not breaking up somebody's
Over
home,
that
because the
drink.
score can really break up a home if you're not careful.
Yeah.
There's Jasmine. Jasmine, that's my name. That's my alter ego for the slore tonight. Thanks for listening in.
Yeah, you don't want to. I think that's something that you get out of the way during that first drink, that initial conversation, a little, when you're feeling Dan out. You find out, when you saw Dan, you checked for rings anyway.
You are checking for
But
rings.
everybody doesn't wear their ring.
True that.
So, certain things you can say during that conversation to find out if he's attached or like in between, or, maybe he just doesn't want to be bothered, or, you can kind of feel him out.
Because that's that's the strategic part about being the slore. That's why you have to keep your wits about you. Because you don't want to break up somebody's home. You really want to try to get a person who is reasonably unattached.
Yeah.
They're loosely dating, they're in an open relationship, they're not married, they might be separated, because separated works in this particular situation. Typically speaking, I would not condone dealing with someone who's separated, especially freshly separated from their spouse. However, in this particular situation, it would work because you're not trying to create a new relationship with someone freshly out of an old one. What you're doing here is creating a moment, an environment, just for a second, that doesn't go past that night.
How involved do we want to be as a slore with a person who has some type of situation, like an open relationship, or they are dating several people? Do you want to be bothered? I know, me personally, I don't want to be bothered. Like,
that's a lot.
If I know
mean,
you're
the
in
open relationship, I could do that, because I guess in some open relationships, depending on what your what's the agreed upon rules are.
Yeah.
In some open relationships, it's appropriate to have sex with someone else. That would actually might even work best, because you don't have to worry about this person calling you the next day.
True.
With someone who is dating multiple people, I'd rather not, because that's just a lot.
It is a lot.
Because they're dating multiple people. Those multiple people know multiple people. Baltimore has a half a degree of separation.
Yeah, it does.
You're not
It
going
only
to
takes
be you're
one
not going to be able to
person.
have an ambiguous.
I saw Dan leaving Sagamore with some chick in a red dress.
Right.
She was holding his hand.
Right. What was that?
What was that?
Right.
Dan don't have no sisters.
Now,
do he?
granted, you're not fucking anything up for you.
Mm-mm.
You're fucking it up for Dan.
Right.
Now,
Well, Dan fucking
granted,
it up for Dan.
Dan's fucking it up for Dan, because Dan went along.
Dan should have been like, no, stop,
please, don't.
I'm
I'm dealing with a few people.
Yeah.
Like, keep it real honest.
Yeah.
You can just say, hey, look, this is what it is. Like, I am or am not dealing with someone. Tonight is not about that person. Tonight is about me, and you are what I want. You're on the menu. This is dessert. I've already had my dinner.
Like, you don't need that menu, sir.
Right.
Would you guys want some dessert? We're good.
We're good. I got him. As you recross your legs. Right? So, we're not giving Dan head anymore. Back to Dan. We're in the car with Dan.
We're in the car. We got his dick is in our hand. We're playing with ourselves. He's driving. He's trying to touch me somewhere.
can't quite get it right
Can't
because
get it
that's
right
how
'cause
it works.
He's feeling really good, but he wants to you know, we've kind of taken control from Dan.
Absolutely.
We've taken control, and Dan likes that.
Absolutely. Most people love a slore, even if it's not their cup of tea for long term.
Here's the time.
There's always a time where everybody wants to give up control and be done.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Be done too.
Yeah. Who
You know?
doesn't want to be done too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now we're the
Let me do
slore.
it to you.
We want to be done too.
Mhm.
All right. So now we have to get from doing Dan to getting Dan to do us. All right. So we're driving.
We're driving. We're
We
gonna pull
probably
over.
need to get ready to find
a secluded spot.
A secluded spot. I shy away from hotels. I prefer the great outdoors.
Great outdoors are awesome sauce.
I prefer the great outdoors because not only am I getting done to, but I'm also getting, what's the word I'm looking for? That exhibitionist, you know, that feeling of I might get caught. You know, it intensifies the climax.
That's a whole other. You're adding another layer.
You're adding another
to
layer
the experience.
By the way, ladies, if you do this, shave, wash real good, no panties. They get in the way.
Who's wearing panties?
People wear panties.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm just
let
her breathe.
Let her breathe.
Let her breathe. What's going on around here? Like, I get it. In certain situations,
you need,
you know, you want to put some panties on. Like, if you work in a place where like there's always dust and shit flowing.
Yeah,
over.
you don't
So
want.
you
don't
know,
want
you
her.
need a little bit of layer somewhere in
Right.
between. You know, your lady parts and the dirt. But why are we having?
Am I still working? I dropped my microphone.
If you are, slurs don't wear panties.
No.
Let's just say that slurs don't wear panties. You can wear panties any other time of the day, but when you're sluring, no panties are necessary. It's my public service announcement for today.
Well, there we go.
Yeah,
Someone
there you
was
go.
just helped with that statement.
Yeah, well, the more you know.
The more you know. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So, so we found. All right, so we're gonna do my. I love a parking lot.
Okay.
Because I love the warm hood of a car.
Man, listen.
Bend me over a warm hood of a car.
Hands like that, ass in the air. You know,
it's perfect.
Boobies on the hood.
On the hood. You gonna leave some prints?
You gonna leave some
hopefully?
prints?
Leave
Yeah.
some prints. It's wonderful.
Something. Yeah, that's nice.
It's wonderful.
You want to make sure you don't have any bracelets on though,
because you don't want to
scratch up the car.
Right.
Then
Because you
Dan's
don't want to
gonna be
leave
pissed.
any like permanent evidence.
No.
Everything needs to be able to wipe away.
Yeah.
With a baby wipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
If necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want to be
Yeah.
able to wipe it all away. The other thing I like about parking lots is
Security might be around.
Security might be around. Other cars might come in.
Yeah,
and park.
like,
no, fuck a parking lot. A park and ride. No,
Oh, parking
a
ride.
parking ride where a bus might show up with people in it.
They're like,
right, the parking ride. You know, right.
The parking ride. Yeah.
Hold up, we're gonna get into the parking ride. We'll be right back with Salacious Life. We need to take a break. I need a glass of water. I need some ice.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm gonna talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
are they're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay. All right. So we're going to continue with something This Way Comes. And we're going to continue with our slore conversation.
Right.
All right. So in this slore conversation, we've picked up Dan. We've ridden around. We've gotten Dan all excited. Dan's junk is out. Your junk is out. All right. We've gotten to the park and ride.
The park and ride. So we got to get Dan out the car so we can get on the car.
We got to get Dan out the car.
So I guess you just open the door. Just kind of give him, just give him turn here. No, turn here. Pull there. There, right here. Okay. All right, now get out. And Dan's gonna be like, what?
Right. Get out. Open your door and say, get out.
Get out.
So that he knows that you're not just putting him out of his own vehicle.
Yeah, we're not gonna steal your car, Dan.
Right.
We just sucked your dick.
Right. That's an awesome way to steal a car, though. Like
I know, like get out.
Get out, come around this side. And I jump in the driver's seat. No.
Like, how is Dan gonna explain that to his?
Like, a slore stole my car.
Dan, she sucked my dick and just stole my car.
She stole my car. She carjacked me with her mouth. That's that good hit right there.
He know what hit him. He know what hit him.
That's
no,
Dan,
right
there.
We're not gonna do that to you.
Right.
We like you, Dan.
We do like you, Dan.
We like you a lot, Dan, because your dick is nice.
Right.
And
it's a Snicker bar.
Yeah,
it's very satisfying. So now.
So we've gotten Dan out of the truck.
All right.
And Dan gets out. He's just kind of standing there, I guess.
He doesn't know what to do. You have to give Dan guidance.
Yeah, a little bit.
Even though he's very turned on, I'm sure he's still
not very confused as to what is happening
to him.
Like, this cannot, like, he's looking around for cameras and shit. Like, what is this? This can't be happening to me.
Like, he's probably looking around. He probably thinks it's some ex or something.
Yeah,
him up.
like, they're going to set me up. Like, no, Dan, it's just us. Come on over. Right. So I think this may be a good time to suck Dan's dick again.
Right. And this time, Dan is standing. You sit or kneel. Kneel. And if you have high heels on, you can really just stoop.
Yeah.
Because you can bend your knees a lot further when you got those
you're just
heels
kind of
on.
there. Your heels should put you should be right
at his.
It should be in your face.
It should be in your face. I mean, if you're anywhere between 5 feet and 5'8".
Yeah.
The dick should be right in your face. And even if he's like 6 feet tall, with heels on, it should be right there. Now, keep in mind, when you're picking out your Dan, watch his size. You don't want somebody that's too much bigger than you because you have to stay in control.
You don't want his stomach hitting your forehead. That's not awesome sauce.
I've had that happen.
That is
horrible.
That is disgusting.
It's horrible.
It's
you
disgusting.
trying to give somebody a head and their belly is in the way.
Then it smells weird because he
And
can
it
get
does,
up under that.
it's like you,
belly
yeah,
and just,
you can't. No.
No, Dan should be svelte a little bit, or at
Right.
least like semi-flat.
Right. It doesn't have to be completely
Yeah,
flat.
you don't have to have a
Because
six-pack.
I like. I mean, I like a mature man.
cushion.
Like you always like a little something to grab onto.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
speaking of grabbing onto, because like when you're down there like that, you can kind of grab onto him and just pull him to you,
so that he really like.
He's
now
like,
he feels controlled.
Right.
The whole idea is to keep control.
Right.
Dan is probably grabbing onto the car or the door. He's probably grabbing
He's
onto
his things in the air, just like what the hell he's
happening.
holding on. So at this
He might be
point,
holding your head.
it
That's
might
always
be
nice.
yeah. Dan, I don't know. I'm hoping at this point Dan kind of takes just a little bit of control, because I need Dan to just kind of maybe like pull away and then flip me over. Pull away, flip me over.
But you have to encourage him to
Yeah.
do that. So,
Yeah.
so start doing longer
Longer
strokes.
strokes. So like
So that he
when you
can look at
coming
your
out,
face
yeah.
when you come out and make
Yeah.
eye contact.
And he's gonna be like, okay now.
I
Because he's probably in his head like, all right, I need her to, the next time she get far away enough, I'm just going.
Right. And then
just
he's going to go for what he knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty instinctual. Like we said,
Yeah.
we are sticking to the primal instincts, right?
There's chemistry between you and Dan. So
Right. 'Cause
I
you
think
created
Dan will
this
pick.
chemistry.
Dan
You
will pick up
are-
on it.
I mean, you
Yeah.
are the apothecary
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
the apothecary tonight.
Yeah.
You are creating this mixture. You're adding just enough sexy with just enough smart, with
Yes.
just enough confidence,
Yes.
and just enough beauty, just
Yes.
enough smell good. You're indulging in your senses, all
Mix it
5
up.
of them.
Bubble,
and you're
bubble,
mixing
toil
it
and
up.
trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Something wicked.
This way comes. With you.
Right. So Dan has now flipped you over.
Woo.
And going to town. I mean, trying to break your back open. Now, mind you, Dan might try to flip you over and throw you back in the car. If you can control where this happens. When
Yeah.
Dan flips you over, use those biceps. Push yourself back. Reposition yourself so that
Wiggle.
Dan is giving it to you the way you want it.
Yes. Yes. Because you can still control from under.
You can. You can. Because you're
You
going to
can-
back it up.
Yeah.
You're
you
not
can
going to
control
just let
from-
him
You can't let
pound
him just.
you. You're going to back it up.
You can control from under, from in front. You don't always have to be on top.
to be in control. Right.
I don't think people realize that.
I mean, well, so, for instance, men and women. Your woman's on top, riding you either facing or reverse cowgirl, whatever.
Mhm.
She's riding you. You have taken control of that situation before, and you have
Yeah.
been controlled in that
Yeah.
situation before. So keep in mind all the techniques you've ever learned in your entire life and all the moments that you've ever had, and remember how you were once controlled or how you have controlled in the past. So
Yeah.
that way you can really...
Because this moment is a culmination of that.
Right.
All of the instances where you've been controlled and where you've controlled, and smush that all together, and there you go.
Right. There you
Good.
go.
Something wicked just came.
Right. Because at this point, you can focus on what you feel and not what's happening around you, which
Yeah.
means you will have a very, very satisfying orgasm.
Very satisfying.
Because
Like, you're gonna
it
want a
don't matter
cigarette,
how
you don't
good
even
his
smoke.
stroke is, you are in control. So you'll control the stroke. You'll control how you get it. You can angle your hips to make it hit you the right way, or however you want it to hit you. Like whatever you want, you can now get. You can talk dirty to him. That's always fun. And if you don't know how to talk dirty, please just don't do it.
Yeah, because it gets awkward and you say something weird.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. Like,
Yeah, and you just be like, just
let me sit on your face so you can't talk.
let me sit on your face so you can't talk. Now,
I'll fix
mind
that.
you, we can still get there. All right, so you're having this orgasm, right? Hopefully, Dan comes at this point because now we have to get to you getting head, right?
Yeah.
So Dan needs to come so that he can pull out.
Right.
And then you have to help him understand it's not over. Your job's not done yet.
You're not done, Daddy.
You're not done. Now, pray. Because there's no telling.
You cannot tell.
You cannot tell.
It is not how he walks.
Mm-mm. It's not how he talks.
How
it's not
he
drinks.
Just like it's you.
You just, it ain't how fat his lips are.
Dear Jesus.
Right.
Please.
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 Like.
Hopefully he's watched The Salacious Life. No. No. Hopefully he's a card-carrying member of the conclave. Because that's when you really learn something.
Yeah. It could be a cunning linguist.
Right.
That is so tricky, though.
It is.
It's not for everybody.
No.
And which is understandable. But when you're in slur mood, that is the icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. That's that little cherry on top. Because, you know, you're there. You came. Because usually a man or a person, a woman, they'll do that first. Oral sex is part of foreplay.
But oral sex doesn't have to be
part of foreplay. It doesn't have to be.
It can be the aftercare.
See,
you've just stolen his soul.
Yeah, sucked it right out, succubus.
So give him an opportunity in his mind to take it back. Because I mean, you know, I'm a collector of souls. Y'all all know that. But
she just did this. She just did this.
Like,
I need you almost want him to think, I need to get this bitch back.
Right. That's actually very accurate. I need to get this bitch back.
I need to get this bitch back. Because she just took it all.
She just ruined my whole life.
Yeah, I need to get this bitch back. So, then go ahead and let him get that bitch back.
Right.
And, you know,
because
let him feel like he got that bitch back.
Let him feel like it. Because at the end of the day, you're still in control. You've controlled the situation and you're getting what you want. That's that real power. Right.
And that real power is intense. This is why you can't be a slur for extended periods of time.
Right.
Because it's just so intense. You will cause trouble all over the world. You will rock your world. Because a power trip is strong. Power trip is strong. And it's a certain level of power that you have. Mm-hmm. That you're exuding.
Right.
When you're in slur mode.
I mean, and it is real. Like, it can be captivating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be captivating.
Yeah.
You know, like, take it, own it, use it wisely. Because, like, it can be dangerous. Like, warning, don't try this at home if you haven't prepared. You know, this is tricky business.
It is tricky business. Because, like, that chick can get you accused of cheating. You ain't been doing this shit. When would you start? Whose dick you been sucking? Because you just did. You know what you... Like, no, I read a book. I was listening to Salacious Life.
Right.
I went to
Conclave. You know, I went to Sex 101.
Yeah,
like, there are things that you can learn.
Yeah.
From...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without
and I think you should
cheating.
always be growing. You should always be learning, especially in your personal sexual life. Learn yourself.
Yes.
You need to find time to play with yourself.
Yeah.
Ladies, especially.
Figure out
what feels good. What parts of you feel better than other parts.
Because it's just not rubbing your clit.
No, it's not.
It's not. You can have, it's 6 different ways you can have an orgasm without penetration.
Yeah.
Like with your ears, your nipples. There's something else. I just know those.
I know.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones I like.
Yeah. Like
I know the ones I like.
Yeah, it's a way to do it. So
there's even like a head rub.
Yes. Yes.
Head rub.
Yeah. So you need to be able to convey that to your partner.
Right. Whoever your partner is.
Permanent
or temporary.
Yeah. So, you know, so we can all be happy, but communication is key.
Right.
If you notice throughout the hunt, we communicated with Dan on various levels. It wasn't always verbal. Sometimes it was physical. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you do it right, the other party, the hunted, the prey, would pick up on the cues.
And roll with it.
And roll with it. So, yeah.
That happens. Now, we've gone through the whole thing. Oh, by the way, after all this is done, clean yourself thoroughly. Clean him thoroughly. Clean the car thoroughly.
Yes,
and go about your business.
All right, Dan, it's been nice.
Dan, it's been nice. Thank you so much. I feel real good.
Are we calling an Uber? Because we're in Dan's vehicle.
I call.
You have to call an Uber.
I call an Uber.
Because you don't want Dan to know where you live at.
Absolutely not. Because you're never going to talk to Dan again.
Yeah, we're going to leave Dan here. We'll chit-chat while we're waiting for my Uber.
Right.
And then, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
you
Uber
jump in
guy.
an Uber and you. So have Uber money. Make sure you
sure
have.
the
What did
account
Daddy
is
used
full.
to call it? Just in case they act a fool money?
Yeah.
Just in case they act a fool money. Make sure you got.
Slow money.
Absolutely.
You got slow money. Take an Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Take an Uber. Like, you really want to cut it there, wherever it happens.
Yeah.
So whether
there.
unless, I mean, some people are more old school. You might, I don't recommend bringing a Dan to your home. I really,
Dan might be crazy for real.
Dan might be crazy. Dan might rob you. Dan might kill you. Dan might beat you half to death in your own home. Dan probably won't do that if you're in public at all times. Even if you're in a parking lot. The idea that someone may see you may keep Dan in check just long enough.
Yeah. Just long enough. You got to be safe. Like, safe sex isn't just condoms and shit.
Yeah.
It's safe environment.
Right.
You got to still, you know, wait a minute, we got lights. Are all the lights working? Don't take Dan to a place where the lights don't work.
Right, or it's super, super dark.
Yeah, no, that's not safe. You want a little bit of lighting.
Right.
Still kind of dark, a little bit of lighting.
Yeah.
It may be somebody else in the parking lot fucking.
That's always fine.
Yeah.
Because
like
group sex that's not actually
group sex
is very fun.
It's like
you know, simultaneous sex.
Yes.
Simultaneous sex is always
that
good
happened to me once. We're like, are they doing it?
So are we.
We're doing it. Everybody's doing it. This is not. Then I was told to bend over.
Because
stop being nosy. And bend over.
And bend over.
I was like,
okay.
Yes, Dave.
Let's just bend over. Let's let this happen now.
Yeah.
So leave Dan. Go
Leave Dan
home,
where he is.
wash your ass, have a glass of wine, and take your happy ass to bed and get ready to put your hats on in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta work tomorrow.
But you will be amazed at one, how well you sleep.
Yes.
And two, how well you wake up.
Yes. You have a whole lot more pep in your step, and you can handle the day. You're flipping hats like nobody's business.
Right.
It's not an issue. You're doing everything.
Right.
And you're
Multitasking becomes
with a smile
nothing.
on your face, and like you got all this energy to give now. You are completely different. You're renewed. You have been renewed. You have been restored.
Right.
Like,
you know what I like to say. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Recycle.
Renew, restore.
Restore. It's the world keeps on spinning.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to. It's necessary.
It is
Being
necessary.
a slur is necessary for you.
For people who were nervous about being a slur in their own city, here's a few helpful tricks to the trade. Go places you don't normally go. That's actually important. I think you should go places you don't normally go when you're on the hunt in general, because you need it's not fun if you're hunting in a place that you have the advantage.
Yeah.
You need to have kind of an even playing field.
Neutral ground.
Neutral ground. The other thing I would suggest perhaps is slurring on a vacation, on a girl's trip, on a guy's trip. It happens a lot, but people don't really look at it for what it is.
Yeah.
They go on vacation, they leave their significant other home, and they go and do what they do.
I think vacation's fair game.
Vacation's pretty
It's
fair
a girl's
game.
trip, guy's trip. It's like, you know, you're out of the state, the city. Do what you do. Just don't bring that shit home.
Just don't bring it home. Leave your shit
out there. So you did whatever you did. You slurred. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now we've moved on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. You know what? We've slurred. Hold that thought. We'll be right back with Salacious Life, and we will wrap this up for you in a nice little bow.
Bow.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter.
Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. Now here's one little speech I'm going to give you before I get into the next article. Here's what I want to tell you. Still, fear is big business. Fear is big business. I'm not telling you not to be alarmed by what you're seeing. I'm not telling you not to be concerned. What I am saying is not to buy into the notion that we should be afraid. You should be informed. You should be aware. You should start educating yourself about some things. I don't have the solutions. I don't have the answer. I wish I could say that if you did X, Y, and C, you might not get shot by the police. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. But what I can say is just start making yourself aware of what's going on.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, you guys. We have gotten dressed. We have gotten together. We have shaped our mind. We have gone on the hunt. We have hunted. We have captured. We have devoured our prey. And we have exited the scene wiping our lips.
No, stage left.
Stage left.
Stage left.
We exited stage left.
Stage left.
Right. We dropped the mic. It's over. So now we've taken a shower. We've gone home. We're relaxing in our bed. We're rethinking, because you have to replay the moment that you just had. Because one, you cannot let yourself feel guilty about that shit, because that is something that is just not allowed in slur life.
No.
This is
you should
about
be patting yourself on the back.
Right, because you did a great job.
Well done, bitch. Well done.
And Dan will never be the same in a good way. Dan may take some of them tricks home and do all kinds of wonderful things to somebody. So you've done society.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Deep Throat Saturday.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So we are teaching, we are talking about, we're telling you to explore the slur. I'm not saying do it all the time. Don't let it become your... Huh?
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme.
It does.
Explore the slur.
I'm going to make a Dr. Seuss book called Explore the Slur. It's just not going to be Dr. Seuss.
You'll be stressed no more when you explore the slur. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh my gosh. Orange fish, green fish, red fish, green. I'm going to make you cream. No, No. I wanted to say thank you for coming on this show. You're
welcome.
An author that I appreciate. I've read your work. I follow your blogs. You're insightful. We have great dialogue. We learn a lot from each other. We spend a lot of time dialoguing about different things, not just sex, but life in general, about living and not existing, living that unapologetic life that I tell you all to live.
On the road to 40.
On the road to 40, indulging in our senses, all that is important. So I'm going to leave you with 3 lines, the most important 3 lines that I've said all night long. And that is...
What are they?
Love life.
Love life.
Be brave.
Be brave.
You cannot be the slur and not be brave. Be brave. At the end of the day, live unapologetically.
Stuff your sorries in a sack, buddy.
Because we're done with that.
Yeah.
Your journey is just begun.
Yeah.
We're done for the night. We'll see you next week as we continue Autumn Articulations series. And, yeah. You got 1 hour. Go get humped.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.